Italian authorities have transferred 40 rejected migrants to Italian-run detention centers in Albania. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff was in Russia on Friday for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin on accepting a full ceasefire with Ukraine.
Estonian authorities detained an oil tanker which forms part of Russia's shadow fleet early on Friday morning just outside Tallinn Bay.
Italian authorities have transferred 40 migrants with no permission to remain in the country to Italian-run detention centers in Albania. It appears to be the first time an EU member state has successfully sent rejected migrants to a third place that is neither their country of origin nor a transit one. Rights groups and legal experts have denounced the move, raising concerns over the legality and precedent it may set. Other EU countries, including the Netherlands, have expressed interest in similar arrangements with states like Uganda. Under the agreement between Italy and Albania, up to 3,000 migrants intercepted by the Italian Coast Guard in international waters each month can be processed in Albania. Human rights groups argue the agreement violates international law and endangers migrants' rights. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff was in Russia on Friday for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, as the U.S. continues pressing the Kremlin to accept a full ceasefire with Ukraine. Their meeting comes amid growing questions about the Kremlin's willingness to stop the more than 3-year war. Ukraine has endorsed a U.S. ceasefire proposal, but Russia has effectively blocked it by imposing far-reaching conditions.
Доводятся позиции друг для друга. Поэтому это такая скрупулезная работа. Здесь не нужно ожидать каких-то прорывов. Происходит процесс нормализации отношений и поиски.
The Russian delay in accepting Washington's proposal has frustrated U.S. President Donald Trump. Ahead of the meeting, he wrote on social media that Russia has to get moving towards ending the war.
Estonian authorities detained an oil tanker which forms part of Russia's shadow fleet early on Friday morning, close to the island of Egna, just outside Tallinn Bay. The vessel named Kivala had been sanctioned due to past activities by both the EU and at least 3 non-EU countries, Canada, Switzerland and the UK, and was en route to the Russian port of Ust-Luga. The vessel lacks a flag state, meaning it is not permitted to sail on the open seas.
Kui kinnipidamise ajaks juba oli selgunud, et tal ka puudub siis lipuriik, keda ta esindab, liputa laev. Ja sellised laevad lisaks tegelikult liigelda ei tohigi.
According to the Navy, 24 people are aboard the Kivala, and the ship's captain, who is reportedly a Chinese national, has been cooperative during the investigation so far. Estonian authorities conducted the operation using Navy vessels and helicopters around 3 a.m. on Friday, just before the Kivala entered Estonia's exclusive economic zone.
Pope Francis made a surprise visit to 2 art restorers who were working on the final touches of the restoration of a tomb in St. Peter's Basilica. This is the 3rd surprise appearance Pope Francis has made this week. On Sunday, Francis surprised the crowds during a Jubilee Mass for the sick and met privately with King Charles III and Queen Camilla on Wednesday. On Thursday, he took an unexpected tour of St. Peter's Basilica.
Truck checks are continuing on the Czech-Slovak border due to recent foot and mouth disease outbreak in the region. Roughly 14,700 cattle have been slaughtered in Hungary and Slovakia, while no outbreaks in Czech farms have been reported yet. Czech Agriculture Minister Marek Vybrony said the restrictions could be lifted 30 days after the culling of the last farm animal infected in Slovakia. The border controls have entered their 3rd week because the highly contagious virus can spread on contaminated objects like vehicle tires.